Hi there, Flash Rasman back again in Ambition and Minuet in Power. I had a plan when I left, but I can't remember what that plan was, so I'm going to have to rethink the plan. What were we going to... Oh, that's right. A day, do we rest, do we go and do something? We've got a bourgeoisie party tomorrow. Let's have a look at our journal. Fresh 7 days old. Right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go back to my calendar. Let's hit this one. A bit of exhaustion, doesn't matter. Then we can rest. Then we can go to that's a Siddharthi meeting, and then we can. Yeah, let me think. Yeah, let's explore today. We'll pick up gossip then. And then I'll rethink it then, because I've got a couple of days spare there. I don't mind. I can't remember mess that up. Don't mind banking a bit of exhaustion, because we've got that much favour with this guy. It's not a problem. Well, let's explore Paris. So we've got foreign entanglements, requesting letters, which I did by mistake last time. Important export, a Hessian doorman. Right. Tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna do. That's what we'll do. So that is gonna be. We'll use that to extend our Armand storyline. So what we're gonna do today? We're gonna hit this one to see what it is. We're gonna hit you, and I'm gonna come back next. Then party. So today we're gonna do this today. Then party tomorrow. The day after that we'll do that. Then we'll do Ludovicio. Then we'll rest, and then we'll go and visit him. Or we might visit him then rest. Okay. Oh, this one. Some of the violent types you might meet could also be useful when employable. Hire Hansel the bodyguard. Do we need to do that? Do we really need to do this one? I'm not sure I need to do this or not. I'm not sure I need to do that. That seems easy enough. I'm not sure now. This is a simple credibility. This is the easier one. That's peril involved. Let's go with the easy one. See that? I'm sure if I hire him, then I'm gonna have to pay him, aren't I? Yeah, let's go. Let's do it. See what happens. You decide to take a day exploring the city, but Sam managed to get a little turned around. You look around and see that this neighbourhood is not the safest for walking around alone in. Of course, you've passed through rough spots before, places where residents sit on their front stairs all day, cursing at strangers for either anger or entertainment. However, this place is different. It's quite neat to see a glimpse of people watching from inside their windows. It's like they're afraid of something. All right. I'll have to do this. All I have to do is stay calm, move a little faster. The faster I get out of it, the better. I'm too lost. I should ask. No, do not do that. Stay calm. You say straight ahead, aim your vision a few inches above everyone else. Additionally, you walk a touch faster and clench your jaw. The effect is enough to make you look both frustrated and in a hurry, which should make people less likely to bother you. You've lost some peril. Your ears perk up at the sound of footsteps quickly behind you. A rough hand clamps on your upper arm and spins you around, bringing you face to face with the man who is obviously has no good intent upon your persons. Let's keep this quick, madam. Your money or your life. Come and take it, disgusting oath. A large amount of peril. Ooh. Go on. Have you absolutely gone mad, woman? He asked, cocking a pistol. Fine, let's do it. Let's do it your way. You gain a large amount of peril. Drop your weapon, step away from the woman, growls a thickly accented voice from a nearby alleyway. Who the devil are you? Asks your Moggo, whirling on his new participant in the proceedings. Very dashing. Ah, you must be hard of hearing. No, I didn't introduce myself. I told you to walk away. Gathering his wits, the thief straightens his spine and points his pistol at the massive interloper. Mind your own business, I've got enough for both of you. Listen closely, the stranger replies with a grave seriousness. Your job is taking other people's money, and sometimes that involves hurting them. My job was killing, plain and simple. We may sound similar, but there's a big difference. Right now, I'm retired from that job, so walk home before I step out of retirement. He silently weighs up his options, his pistol hand shaking. Your blood hums in you so loudly that it feels like an entire world is going quiet. You can feel the eyes of all the people hiding inside their homes, weighing up the three of you. With that word, the ruffian takes off. Madame, the large figure says to you, with no reduction in intensity of his demeanour. You're remarkably shaken with somebody who's just had a pistol pointed at them. There's not much out there that can shake me. It's hard to be afraid of death when life insists on being so unpleasant. Don't worry, that's just an appearance. I'm actually about to pass out. This elicits a twinge of a smile from him. I wouldn't have believed you if I didn't see it for myself. But by the way, my name is Hansel. It's whole business to me that you've made a habit of finding yourself in personal situations. I mentioned before, I'm retired. I'm bored out of, oh my God, the damn it mind. Would you like a bodyguard? Hopefully you won't need my scissors often, but you'll be happy to have me at your side on a few occasions that you do need me. Generally speaking, my scissors cost about 30 livres a week. Fine. You'll make a foundation of my household. Hi, Hansel. Wunderbar, he says with a small twitch of his mouth. You assume to be a smile. You've hired Hansel the bodyguard. I suppose my first task is getting you out of this hellhole. Please follow me. You follow him without another word. He leads you out of this neighbourhood surprisingly quickly. Not another soul even attempts to bother you, which is an extremely pleasant feeling. This whole thing could be a massive setup, of course. That whole thing could be a setup, anyway. Of course, the more refined members of society don't seem to walk around with armed bodyguards, so you'll have to think of some way to introduce them to people. Calling them your doorman would work. After all, life has a lot of doors, and if anyone could keep them open or closed, it's him. With Hansel, your new doorman in tow, you start to walk home. Okay, that's going to increase my wages somewhat. Okay. You look around, you look up at the sound of Camille knocking at your door frame. Good morning, madame. The house rent is due, as are Hansel and I's wages. Yep, fine. Yes, fine. Can we deliver the money, and without the business included in your day may continue. Righty, so parties. Let's go to the wardrobe. And this is bourgeoisie. I thought I bought bourgeoisie. Here we go. This is what I bought. The robe decor. Go to the party. Yep. Let's went. And let's go and have a party, shall we? Got a moth flying around in my office here. Go away. Go on. Shoo. Is your carriage points in your part? Yep. Usual story. Creditably up. Yep, you step down, usual story, hear a bit of gossip. I should keep reading this properly, make sure I don't ever miss anything. Unfortunately, yep, that's fine. Yeah, we lost a bit, that's not massive, we can get that back easy enough. Yeah, we'll do the old buy them some wine because it'll get our credibility back, not all of it, and it'll reduce some of our barrel. Now let the games begin. Right, what we got? We've got the same conversation again. The amount of times you get to parts, people lose their money. Right, got that one. You've got physically eager to court a particular slide, hoping you'll be able to help him make a good first impression. You've got this one down here, which is gambling, which we don't need to do quite yet. We're not in that bad situation. I'm just looking at the layout of the house. Conversation. Every group has their ways of measuring one's worth, and With accuracy tight with the church, its faith of bourgeoisie, it's simply money. One guess is remind you of such things. Cheap bourgeoisie gossip. Let's go with this one because pay more. Pick conversation. A man clearly nervous approaches you. Pardon, Madame de Cour. You don't know me, but I've come to request you to request a favor. I don't know exactly what I could provide in return, but I'm a successful physician. I attend this party with express intent and introduce myself to one particular woman, but I still haven't managed to do so. It appears she's planning to leave it at any moment. Is there any way you could help provide some sort of introduction? But before you ask, yes, I already realise how strange it is to approach one unfamiliar woman because I'm too nervous to approach a different one. It's merely that, well, I don't know. I suppose that fear has always been divorced from reason. If a stranger is asking you for this kind of help, it must really mean they've become well established in Paris. So at least that's that. Very good point. Seems like he could help you obtain some gossip about the bourgeoisie. About my business, what of it, he asks. What am I saying? Of course I can do it. I'll only ask that you make haste. It looks like she's going to leave this party at any moment. If he uses and makes guide the conversation around, well, he can't tell you the exact identity of his clients. It becomes easy to use information to fill in the gaps in the scraps of a rumour that you heard a few days ago. Outrageous bourgeoisie gossip. The moment you've memorised the rumour, you take him by the elbow, glide over to the object of his affections. You do best to make his introduction as appealing as possible, though opening conversation in act but earnest. With your end of the bargain held, you take your leave of them both. That was easy. Right, so we've got you in the corner, businessman, cheap bourgeoisie gossip. We've got on our head. We've got this lady again. Okay. Right, okay, that's the money one. We've got this one. Still trying to lose. Oh, let's try this. Let's have a go at this one. Let's see what on our aid. You come across a commanding but sumptuously dressed woman who is standing apart from the other guests. They seem to regard her with some respect, yet is also awareness in the way that they look at her. You take a moment to yourself, listening to party's exquisite string quartet when you notice something odd. An elegant woman in black is standing off to the side of the party by herself. Her presence is obvious, and while nothing about her seems outwardly wrong, you can see that other guests are making an effort to avoid her. Maybe we should as well. You can scrutinise the other guests. Their darting glances and concealed whispers. You scrutinise the other guests. Their darting glances and concealed whispers. Someone attempts to approach you, but suddenly thinks better of it. Are they intimidated by her? You shrug and take a healthy sip of wine. After all, this all sounds like an absolutely perfect reason to go and talk to someone. However, as you start walking towards her, she stares at you with surprising intensity, like she's studying you. Feeling a little unnerved, you're starting to understand where all this intimidation business is coming from, but you can't stop now. She cuts you right off as you're about to introduce yourself. And who might you be? Marvellous. Does that make someone equal parts straightforward and adorable? Okay. Getting some favour with Madame Gazelle. I wonder if it's to say Madame Gazelle from Peppa Pig. Yeah. My name is Anna. Did you ever realise that the Madame Gazelle in Peppa Pig's actually a vampire? There's actually an episode in Peppa Pig where it basically comes out as a vampire. I'm telling you, I'm not lying to you. I've got a child who's 8 now, but when he used to watch Peppa Pig, that's why I know Peppa Pig. Just got to insert that little comment in there. But anyway, I digress. My name is Honorade Gazelle, but you may simply call me Honorade. I'm glad you came over. I start to grow bored. Life is too frightfully short to last for such a thing that I wonder what inspired you to come to speak with me. I was growing bored too. I was hoping you could fix that. You stood out from the crowd. I found it intriguing. Well, I should warn you, I'm not here for other people's amusement, she says with a scowl. Oh, great. Of course, I can't blame the guests for not speaking with me. After all, most of them have never seen me before. You see, I tend to prefer more intimate gatherings. She explains, my husband attended these parties in my stead. Of course, that's no longer possible, but we all have our obligations. She sighs and sips her water. However, obligations are tiresome conversation. I'd rather speak of passion. Ooh. So your passion is about what drives you forward. I want what I deserve. I'll do anything to get it. Passion itself is what drives me forward. I want excitement. I want to feel. Passion itself is what drives me. I want excitement. I want to feel. Okay. You're a woman after my own heart. I love a feeling. It's such a rare trait in this so-called age of reason. You've gained some favour. Okay. Far too many people are caught up in a world of numbers, theories and treatises. All the grandest ideas in the world may mean nothing without a life well lived. The two of you continue to chat together while eventually the conversation peters out on its own. At the corner of you notice a man in livery of a servant wearing a small black armband trying to politely get Honora's attention. That's my servant right now. Sorry that I need, but I'm needed elsewhere. Perhaps I'll see you again. Then a dramatic swirl of black taffeta, she turns and leaves. That was far more intriguing than I expect. Hopefully I'm about to see more of her. Okay. You tell me to get your base before moving on to the rest of the party. All the same, you can't get this woman out of your head. Okay. Okay, so cheap representatives of the state have been 3 rooms hotelier. Outrageous. Some of Paris's foremost industries have been trying to deregulate the price of bread. Okay. Yeah. Continue. Not a bad return from the proceedings, I don't think. Yeah, accept it. I should have checked calendar, but so that is then. So, a couple of spare days. I shouldn't have. I'm annoyed myself for that. Right, we've got 2 exhaustion, and we've got lots of credibility. Alright, let's explore Paris. Do we want to shift all our naval architect? We know that one. We've got a certain widow making inquiries of their creator of bespoke into what could she be up to. On her aid, it's interesting. We've got turning around, choosing sports this evening. Oh, okay. I'm intrigued. Oh, let's. If I was going to do that today, but I don't want them to disappear. Oh. Let's do this one. I'm intrigued. Excuse me, something to drink. Out in the city, you find yourself wandering a street lined with businesses making and selling fine furniture. The air smells of rich wood, sweet resins and pungent varnishes. Just looking at all the magnificent pieces on display is enough to make you wonder how much it would cost to replace the aging and splintering furnishings in your own home. Probably far too much. Soon you spot a familiar figure wearing a dress as dark as midnight, examining a store with a worn and illegible sign. Madame Gazelle doesn't seem to notice you as she enters the shop. Follow her inside. Let's just observe from afar. You wait outside for a while, wondering what to do next. Observing the shop from afar, you pretend to browse through the selection put on display by some neighbouring merchants. Over the next half an hour, you actually manage to learn something about fine furniture. It might be helpful at the next party you go to. Gain some credibility. Eventually, Mademoiselle emerges from the store, looking absolutely livid. She gestures to a coachman, then he starts bringing the carriage around. Listen intently, you manage to hear her say, "Fine, if that old fool can't help me, I'll find someone who can." As she gets into her couch, you can't wonder what just transpired in that store. With a slightly increased knowledge of fine furniture, but no definite answers, you head home. Okay. Interesting. Ludovicio. Let's check her wardrobe. Provincial dress. That'll do. It's only for. Yep. So the first off, they get ready. You head out for your rendezvous. Yep. Usual conversation. Credibility down. You return to real again. Nothing. Yep. Yep. We know that. Yeah, yeah, once again, same as ever. Okay. And this is something new. Right. After the last few weeks, discussions at States General have been dragging out and growing ever more divisive. I like these little kind of narratives that kind of give you a wider picture of what's going on in Paris outside our own little world. I do like how it's kind of like it's giving you it's giving you a bit of a kind of this is what's going on in Paris around you to help set up events. Enraged by the unfair representation, representatives of the third estate have created their own body called the National Assembly. They've invited members of the other states to join them in negotiations on what would in theory be fairer ground. This, of course, is in direct conflict with the orders of the King, who determined the voting system in the Estates General. The nobility of the First Estate have called on the Crown to issue a swift and decisive condemnation of this rebellious act. However, His Majesty King Louis the 16th has yet to issue any official statement on the National Assembly. Reports suggest that he has instead chosen to spend the last few days in long meetings with the courtiers of his Privy Council, trying to reach a decision. And so, in Paris, life goes on. Okay. Right, so we've got 2 days. Let's go into explore Paris mode. So we've got import and export. That's back on the old alcohol docks. We know that one. We've got naval architecture again, and we've got this one here, balance of power. Ooh, interesting. Tell you what I'm going to do though. We are going to shift off some of the money we've got. Visit location. Let's get rid of some of this money. Then let's rest. You enter Pierre's office to find it usually more disorderly than usual. Yep, same standard storylines. Can you check the public opinion, military? If you can get me fresh gossip relevant to the faction in the next 2 days, I'll reward you with a little credibility and addition to a advice fee. So, yeah, it's not cost us anything to say yes. So it's not standard reply. It's not cost us anything to do it. So we might as well do it. Right. Bourgeoisie gossip. Sell the gossip. No chance. We're fine with that one. Outrageous church gossip. It's a 1 in 20, fine with that. Outrageous bourgeoisie gossip. 1 in 10, I'm fine with that one. Go home. 18th June. Yesterday, a whole company of soldiers from the Guards François have marched to the Palais Royal to publicly announce that they would, under no circumstances, fire upon the people. This noble declaration raised equal parts of celebration and alarm from the common people. After all, they'd only make such a statement if they'd already been ordered to fire on people, but had refused to that order. Very good point. Later that day, a group of soldiers from that very company approached National Assembly to publicly denounce their own commanding officer, the Duc de Châtelet, and then, as an enemy of the people. Afterwards, they were quickly apprehended by soldiers still loyal to the Crown and arrested. While the public outrage at the imprisonment of these soldiers, the Crown has refused to yield. In fact, reinforcements were sent to the prison where the mutinous men are being held, and many protesters at the prison have found themselves arrested as well. At the direct request of the Crown, the military has imposed stern disciplinary measures to quell further defiance. This is not something they cannot allow to get out of hand. The Crown's going power, military. Okay, life as in Paris, and so in Paris, life goes on. So if we look at our journal now, we look at. Okay, cool. Oh, okay, let's have a quick look at that, sir. Okay, whatever. Right, so Crown's power, it's basically all powers of the Crown at the moment, and it doesn't seem like changing. Calendar. So we've got a free day to explore Paris. We need to rest because that is not good. So what we're going to do is we are going to have a rest day. Let's stay at home. I can find where home is. Visit location. Yep. I'm kind of wondering whether I actually needed to do that or not, because we've got enough credibility. We can take a credibility hit if we need to. Right, so we've now got this little. Let's look at our wardrobe. It's a Crown party, so the best one we've got is provincial dress, which is slowly running out of novelty. In fact, really, we could do with getting some. We've got plenty of money though. We really could do with getting some more clothes. Yeah. Usual gossip from the queue. Let's give some wine. Lowest credibility, it's fine. Pretty much the standard approach is now do the same thing. Just it's quick click through. Seems to be the fairly. Oh, I've noticed it. I wonder if it's the Crown that we get more turns on. So you come across a painter locked in a conversation with this amateur art critic. Judging from looking at the face, you'd rather be anywhere else. Okay. We've got held her provided accuracy didn't challenge your qualifications. Okay, and we've got over here we've got gambling, and over here we've got rather intellectual and aristocrat. Let's have a look at this pair down here. Elizabeth Favour. Okay. Doing shit, but see if we can get some favour with her. You come across a man with an arrogant air about him, talking to a woman. Well, it would be more accurate to say that he's talking at her. For her part, the woman appears to be doing her best to remain civil and just drawing a sketchbook. And furthermore, it must be obvious to you that your work peaked at the 1783 salon. Where else would all of your preachers woman look like the same after that? Take a moment to acknowledge you with a nod. A painter returns to our conversation. We've met her. She helped us out before, so it's not like she knows who we are. Her replies calm on board. My clients dress however they wish for their portraits. My role is merely to capture them as they are in their lives. It is wrong that so many women. Is it so wrong that so many women wish to look like Her Majesty? Rising the ground he's treading on, the critic his reply is suddenly more delicate. There's nothing wrong with admiration for the Queen. However, that is not the point. The point is that you've reached your ceiling because you've stopped focusing on your own merits. Instead, you chose to attach yourself to. I'm sure this is really interesting to someone, but I'm done now, Madam. Elizabeth replies, closing her sketchbook. She looks at you, Madam. Would you like to talk somewhere else? I'd love to. The critic sputters indignantly. What? You can't just walk away from a critique of your work. You're not my teacher, and this isn't a critique because I don't want one. But critique is something you ask someone for. I never asked your opinion, so I don't need to listen to it. Stay silent. The critic narrows his eyes and hisses at a burner. This self-importance of yours cannot last forever. With that, he storms off in a petulant huff. Finally, the two of you at peace. For a minute's silence, he turns to you. Who are you anyway? What a loathsome toad. That toad. What does that loathsome toad hate? That said Moby Maskwell with a roll of her eyes. I swear that cruelest most. Must be the only thing that makes him get up in the morning. Swear that cruelty must be the only thing that makes him get up in the morning. However, if you're the latest object of hostility, then you must be Yvet Decor. I'm alright. Before you can reply, she chimes in, just call me Elizabeth. Formality doesn't suit me. Oh. You can't look for Elizabeth. What do I know this infamous auntie looking for my Mrs. I was rescued from conversation with boys idiots. It's hobby of mine. I'm just trying to let my hand at say being social. Yeah. You like play heroin? She replies with a surprising giggle. Oh. Though if you thought he was bad, well, let's just say he's not even the worst one out there. I've had a few years worth of experience to learn that. You chat for longer and you find that you run out of conversation points a little quickly. Still, it's pleasant on the whole. You gain more favour with Elizabeth. I'm sorry I must go. There's some other business I need to attend to. She replies, inclining her head to the crowd of people scattered elsewhere throughout the party. Perhaps I'll see you again soon. Perhaps, she replies with a thin smile. With that, she departs, dispersing into the crowd. Okay. A woman stands by herself with resentment is poisonous emotion to those who allow it to darken their thoughts. It's fantastically useful to people like yourself. We've got a guest entrusts with valuable knowledge only to make himself getting extremely drunk afterwards. Single chambermaid is told to watch over him, but you'll never want to let such an obstacle get in your way. Elizabeth, the painter, is taking a moment by herself in the garden. Oh, we've got two women seem paralysed away to rumours. So we don't lose favour with Elizabeth, do we? I said, I don't know what. Again, I'm still not kind of. I'm sure favour is something that works behind the scenes. We've got a good conversation. Let us go with this one down here. Pick the conversation. Across the room you spot someone fuming by themselves. Their clothing is resplendent and generally above the station ceiling. At this party she carries herself with quiet dignity, yet nobody's talking to her. That alone makes her worth investigating. Ah, bonjour, madame. she says with a mild inclination of her head towards you. Here's to rub salt to moons, I take it. Certainly, just tell me what went wrong and I'll start salting. In particular, I don't know why you're standing there by yourself. You want to master then? Well, at least that tells me you actually care. Okay. Before all of this, I was a courtier at Versailles. My star was rising quickly. I was even officially acknowledged by the Queen. Then I made a mistake of inviting the Queen to an opera which she adores. I thought she'd love the performance as well, but the script had been changed. I know this is work of one of my rivals, but I can't prove it. The performance I was so proud of was instead awful, crude and distasteful. I was humiliated to the point I could barely show my face outside for a week. Simply put, Her Majesty the Queen, sent an immediate retreat. The servant politely requested that I remove myself from Versailles temporarily, which means that by the time my transgressions are forgotten, I will be forgotten in turn. This means I'll never be invited back to the palace, which is an absolute disaster. Not if the French Revolution happens, my dear, it's not. I've never been more furious in my life. Well, revenge is just one small secret away. Did you at least do anything except accepting with your fall, or was it so trivial? Revenge, you see, yes, that does feel quite poetic. In fact, I know just the thing. Well, with that, she launches into a tale of some of the things she witnessed while at the palace of the machinations that took place amongst the courtiers of Versailles. Again, some outrageous church kind gossip. The two of you took for a long exchange serious stories of plots on bitter rivalries. By the end of the conversation, you're convinced that a life spent at Versailles sounds amazing, even with the intricate social manoeuvrings that's required. After all, you've already had to do such things, but at Versailles you get to do it amidst a life of ease and comfort, sometimes punctuated by incredible decadence to keep things interesting. You part ways, and your former courtier seems invigorated by a discussion. For your part, you look around and begin to see if there's anything else you can accomplish at the party. So we've got our friend we've got Elizabeth, we've got chambermaid with lost coins, favourite, we've got lone man, and we have got someone absolutely bursting at seams with desire to discuss something concerning the host. Church. I want to push this Elizabeth conversation a bit more, see what happens. I want to see what's going to go with this. Let's paint Elizabeth as I chat with her. However, you manage to approach her. She glances and about quickly leaves the room. Confused but undeterred, you follow her outside into the gardens. Approaching her, you survey the area, and it seems that nobody else is out here except for the two of you, unless your heart quickens when you notice shapes that might be following you, until you realise that it's a young couple giggling fervently between themselves as they dissipate together in a hedge maze. It's safe to assume they'll be occupied with that for a while. Well, now you're alone, Elizabeth. You finally catch up with her. She's circling a tree, starting pensively into the bushes. It's a fine tree. Are you looking to study it for a painting? Bonsoir. She's suddenly noticing you. Some help would be much appreciated, actually. You gain some favour. I thought Julia wanted to come with me tonight, so I brought her, but then she ran into a potential client. I must have gotten so distracted setting up a meeting with him that I stopped paying attention to her. She must have gotten bored and wandered off. And I say much she likes climbing trees. After a few minutes ago, I'm certain I saw her little legs scurrying up this one. Now that I've out here, though, I can't see her at all. I know she's so insistent on wearing dark green dress tonight. Here's some parenting advice. Never spend an evening teaching your curious, precocious daughter about colour theory. Apparently, all she'll learn from it is how to camouflage herself. Excellent. I should not have brought her, Elizabeth, frustrated and defeated. So I must be curious, so that at least someone here thinks I'm doing the right thing. I always attend these things by myself because I am really here to find new clients to paint. Fortunately, little Julie doesn't really understand that. She knows that my mum is going to another fancy ball with all the queens and princes every time she begs to let me come along with her. She shakes her head and looks up at the tree again. Why are children always so eager to grow up? Well, she asked me again today, and I let her win. I thought that maybe she was old enough. Now I can't find new clients, and my own daughter probably thinks my life is stupid and boring. You stand there and try to think of something to say, but honestly find your parents' own lives pretty boring yourself. That's part of the reason why you're even here. However, you've saved by the sound of rustling from the branches overhead. Mama, I'm thirsty, says a voice from up the tree. Jinan Lucy Louise LeBron, is that you up there? No, I'm just a bird who is thirsty. Mon Dieu, Julia, do you have any idea how worried I was? Come down here right now, I swear I'll climb up there if I have to, she says, slowly hiking up her skirt. It might be a good idea to intervene for Elizabeth is scaling a tree. You mean you can stay up there? I mean, you can stay up there if you don't want a slice of the Queen's cake. I'd love to have it. Wait, there's a Queen's cake? I mean, it's covered with special icing, honey flavours that you're not allowed to have anywhere else. But maybe you're just not old enough for it. Elizabeth chimes in. No, wait, I'm coming. She scuttles down the tree and turns to her mother. Elizabeth smiles a silent thank you to you while she cleans twigs and dirt off her errand daughter's dress. Okay. Her daughter finally secured a account for Elizabeth's head inside the dress pot in order to find some cake that looks suitably royal, and you're left to your own devices and decide to head inside as well, for the couple that disappeared to the hedge racers start making too much noise. That was okay. Okay, nothing to... I should really read more of this gossip. Okay then. Doop-de-doop-de-doop. This morning, the representatives from the First Estate went to meet in the usual chambers. They were blocked by a combination of armed guards and construction workers who claimed their chambers were being shut down for renovations. When the representatives attempted to enter anyone told a meeting, the armed guards forced them away at gunpoint. Without a place to meet, the increasingly angry representatives found an empty tennis court. There they met and discussed the latest issues ahead of them, especially the crowd's latest attempt to thwart their ability to organise. They were not alone in this meeting, joined by several sympathetic members of the clergy as well as a group of nobles who aimed to reach across the political aisle to break the deadlock that had been plaguing the Estates General. In a sudden moment of unity, all the members of the First Estate vowed that they wouldn't disband until they'd established a written constitution for France. This is the first time the Third Estate had openly opposed His Majesty the King. Ooh. Bourgeoisie gained decent amount of power, revolutionists decent power, bourgeoisie moved close to the revolution. The exact wording of the Tennis Court Oath borrowed heavily from the Declaration of Independence issued by the American colonists to the King of England. It's not surprising, as many of the most ardent constitutionalists were once army officers sent by His Majesty to help the Americans throw off the shackles of an unjust monarch. Now they brought that fight home. However, rather than relieve the growing tension, it only seems to heighten. His Majesty the King has yet to make a statement to the National Assembly, and this indirect effort to curtail them seems to have backfired quite significantly. As so, in Paris, life goes on. Accept it. Close. Again, somewhere different. Right, so I've declined that, which I'm still annoyed about. Journal. Oh, well, that's this best up, isn't it? So, on the files put with, yep. Okay. So the widowed mourned for over 2 years. Her vast fortune, secret tendencies, and rumours surrounding romantic predilections made her subject of suspicion among high-priced high society. So I'm assuming this is some kind of romantic kind of... I've basically snogged him, essentially, what that means. Okay. Right, so we've got fresh, that's fine. That's what I wanted. So, still not come through on that one then. Alright, calendar. Let's go to Explore Paris. Alright, so we've got fabric shortage. We've got turning around on hard. I am unwilling confessor. Let's have a look at this one. Let's visit this one. I want to pursue this honour aid thing a bit more. Unless I've just completely pressed the wrong button. You don't go out to explore the city until later in the evening. Most of a simple change of pace. There's also less crowding, which is nice. As you walk through the empty streets, you happen across Madame Gazelle, who is walking the streets. Her only servant is not servant Rennie is not far behind her. While she a little event, I see you takes in some fresh air as well. Please join us wander aimlessly through the city, she says with a smile. I would hate for this to become dull. The two of you walk closer together, taking the sit and talking about events of the last few weeks. As always, Madame Gazelle is composed but extremely opinionated. Just as you turn a corner, you nearly bump into the priest Ludovicio. As he stumbles away from his close call, you notice he has a book about the pirates of the Barbacoas tucked under his arm. Me Dispass, are you two alright? After it's been confirmed none of you have been put in mortal peril, he looks around and asks, you're all out here wandering through at dusk, are you two lost? We're not lost, priest, nor are we in need of your favour. In fact, I would ask you to stay out of our business altogether. How disappointed, Ludovico replies. When presented with a chance to choose grace and kindness, you instead dismiss it outright, disappointing but not surprising. It doesn't take long to see that this call is not merely romantic in nature. It seems that the church and the budget don't agree on something important. The walk continues in a cloud of tension and awkward silence. Well, it's reaching a late hour and I should actually be heading home. Would you care to join me, Yvette? Do you mind if I join you? I have some to ask Yvette as well, Ludovico seemingly oblivious. You see, I was hoping to speak with Yvette alone. My girl mumbles, a rare occasion where words begin to fail her. You notice both frantically look back at you. I'm going to go with this one. Replies, excuse us, Father said to Yvette. I have some business to attend, and Yvette, I have some business to attend to. I see, replies Defeat. Hopefully our pass will cost later. Yeah, we'll get that back soon enough. These young girls walk back to a estate together. The night is unexpectedly cold tonight and you feel the chill run across your skin. Noticing you shiver and rage pulls you closer. As you talk, it's obvious to you that Mademoiselle has no special business with you, getting you alone, or to herself as a more symbolic action of devotion than anything else. Eventually you find yourself in front of her estate, a door, elaborate, fashionable rococo building that sits back from the street behind the gate. The windows are shrouded in gauzy black curtains. This is where you part your ways for tonight, little vet. Don't worry, Venny will make sure you get back home safely. Okay. She heads inside. Gazelle directs Venny to ready her persecution to provide you with a suitable way home. It certainly beats walking. Shortly later, you find yourself arriving at your charming yet dilapidated home. It says a strong contrast to Mademoiselle's sumptuous sepulchral carriage. Tonight may not have been too eventful overall, but it feels like a day well spent. It certainly does. There's something about that honoree that quite likes us. Great, yep. Job done. Keeping on that money. Well, okay. We have a free day to do anything we want. Let us explore Paris. What have we got? We've got up here, we have got Elizabeth. We could do that one. We have got fabric shortage, and we've got balance of power, and we've got foreign entanglements. Let's tackle foreign entanglements. Armand has requested your assistance with one of events he's putting on with his mysterious Frankish Habsburgian society. For better or worse, this Joanna woman may also be there. Let's move that story along a little bit. It's not a long walk to the address that Armand provided in his letter, but you wait until night time before you head out. He said that these notable persons are in past attending the state channel, which means they'll be only free later in the day when they're out of session. When you find the address, you see it's a tavern, but you see very little light coming from inside. The front door is shut, along with a sign that reads "Closed for private event." You reach out and knock on the door. A slot in the top of the door snaps open, and a pair of skeletal eyes glare at you from the opening. Through the open slot, you can hear the sound of multiple speaking in low voices. Who are you, and what do you want? A mouse from behind the door. You can see who I am. Let me and stop wasting my time. As much as I would hate to admit it, you're right. I would know that arrogance anywhere. The voice replies. The slot slams shut, the door opens as you step inside. It takes a few seconds for your eyes to adjust to the darkened interior. You turn around to examine the person guarding the door and come face to face with Maximum Doorman. Bonjour, madame, he shifts awkwardly from foot to foot. Merci beaucoup. Where might I find Armand? We have much to discuss. Am I, you buffoon? I have business to attend to. You're here, I thought. Maximum hated Habsburg. Yeah. He does, if I like to admit, pausing for a moment to look over his own shoes. I've been secretly working for the Frankist Habsburgian Society for over a year now, and I thought Maxim would like Maximin would like the idea of speaking with another cause that aimed to disempower the king. In fact, I was one who facilitated your Amon's introduction to him in the first place. Unfortunately, he saw it another threat to the liberty of the people. When I made that introduction, I always thought he was going to reward me, but instead I was wrong. One wrong move away from being given over to the archers. So I simply let him hurl his fury at someone else. And let him forget about my personal involvement. Surely we have no hard feelings between us, no? If you could sum up a suitable cutting remark, Amon steps up beside you to diffuse the situation. Vet, it's fantastic to see you. His hand placed lightly on your elbow, he steers you into a secluded corner of the venue. I thank you so much for coming, he says while he hugs you close. Here are the plans for tonight, he continues, while gesturing out to the crowd behind you. We have all these guests who are in Paris for the States General, who are representing various estates. While they know the general agenda of our society, they naturally have reservations about joining us. I've become to a special meeting tonight, but John is going to help you, alright? Of course, just tell me where to go. Sounds interesting. Oh, but it is, Amon replies before dropping his voice to a whisper. Well, I can't name names. It's someone on the King's Privy Council, someone who speaks with his majesty regularly. Well, we obviously need at all, but we can get someone like that could change our fortunes overnight. Exhale sharply. Do I look nervous? Do I look nervous? I feel I look nervous. Yes, darling, you look nervous. Take a moment to gather your wits. You're right, he agrees. He pauses to steady his breathing. I'll focus on steadying my nerves. Thank you, mon chéri. Amon departs and you head off in search of Joanna and the guest Amon mentioned. However, when you look at it, it appears she's already started a conversation without you. A man representing the second estate from such a traditional story lineage, I understand this must be difficult for you, Joanna says, her words flowing like honey. Well, yes, my family proudly served all the strongest kings of France. However, His Majesty does not appear to be cut from the same cloth. He facilitates issuing stern decrees in the morning and retracting them at the first sign of resistance at supper time. Sorry, my phone just buzzed. It's embarrassing what happened to the days of I am the state. I can assure you, monsieur, that bringing France under the wing of Austria will strengthen France, the monarchy and the nobility as a whole. Joseph II is a strong emperor working to consolidate power and not let it disperse to undeserving inferiors. Well, madame, if this emperor is consolidating power, how would I benefit at all? A nobleman's power extends from their lord. A strong lord makes you stronger by proxy. He steps out to make room for conversation. Our power extends from our lord. Okay. That was, okay. What happened there? Calendar, what happened? I'm confused. So basically, we just joined in the party, basically, by the sound of it. I'm somewhat confused on that one. We have nothing that the church likes. We need to get some new dresses, because I keep wearing that one, I'm wearing it out. It's a church. Can we afford to burn a bit of credibility? See, I like this outfit. It's very flattering. But anyway, I'm confused. But yeah, usual conversation. Yeah, some gossip. Yeah, usual story. Pay for some wine. Yeah. Alright, let's see what we've got here. Two men request themselves chapel. Rumours. Okay, into the party. Notice. Okay, we know this kind of base storyline, don't we? Basically, somebody that wants to question our reason for being there. We've got you down here, which is person seems to tell some gossip. You are one of the money to find having many luck in the future. Let us go with this one. While taking a turn through the park, you find yourself talking to a woman about the host. You don't know the host particularly well. This seems decently equated with them. By the way, have you heard about a host? Your trials are looking clearly excited. I guess the question is, I should be asking is, how well do you know them? I already know about the issue you're thinking, because I'd love to hear it from your perspective. Other than she asked, trying to maintain a straight face. Magnifico, I'm dying to discuss it all day. Simply scandalous, is it not? Not now that her defences are done, you manage to continue the conversation and use a context clues to pull the details of the story from her. These details are some interest indeed. You gain a piece of cheap church gossip. With everything extracted, you manage to find a way to gracefully exit the conversation. You're not sure why, but you're reasonably certain that you heard her give a sigh of relief as you walk away. Perhaps there's some place you can do while you're here. Yes, who else we can go and... This is a pious one that is going to question our intentions. One-in-the-mill conversation. Let's go this one-on-one. Let's have a go at you. In your experience, the churches probably tend to be quieter than most, and right now there's no one. This one is no exception. You're unsure if it's a guest of the venue, but people simply aren't talking as much as you'd hope. Right as you're about to give up, you notice someone who looks nearly as bored as you are. She's staring at the guest with an expression that kind of as bare concealed contempt. She notices your approach. Bonjour, I assume you're having trouble starting the conversation as well. I swear, some people seem to think at the moment you're aligning themselves with the church, they have to exercise themselves of any mirth or wit. I finally have something interesting to talk about, and not a single one of these people do me the courtesy of a smile. They're just so unwelcoming. I find it to do, yep. Then again, perhaps this is a sign for me to keep my tongue to myself. I should, then again, if I can't talk to you, who can I speak with? She laughs, begin to let you in a juicy little rumour she's heard about. Cheap trick, gossip. With that rumour firmly planted in your memory, you stretch that conversation a little with basic repartee and just try to be welcoming. The two of you talk some time and briefly forget how quite unlifeless everything was built for a few moments ago. Just as things start sliding, you slip away to search for other opportunities. Okay. Right, I'll explore Paris. What happened? I'm lost what happened there. So we joined in the conversation, and it just basically seems like the day flowed, basically. The conversation flowed once we joined in. Right, what we like for time? Let's have a quick visit to La Petite Mogale, just to kind of get, because if I don't do it, I'll forget come next episode. Alright, let's have a look what outfits they've got. What we got. That's fine, but that's kind of okay. That's slowly running out of everything. That's fine. We need church and crown. Yeah, we need church and crown, basically. Let's go to buy. So we've got conservative gown. Oh, I like that. Let's buy purchase you for crown. Yep. What else we got? We're still lacking anything for we're still lacking anything for the church, but yeah. Okay. Alright, so we've got a couple of things going on. So we've got exhausting. So what I'm going to do, well, I'm going to explore Paris. We're going to rest, just because if I do it again, get it out of the way. Yep. Okay. Alright, so we've got the revolutionary coffee tasting coming up. Okay, so then we've got Ludovico again. Then we've got some rest time. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch what happened on that conversation, because otherwise it just dropped off. But anyway, phew. So I'm not sure whether we've moved the Armand storyline along at all. I don't know. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that little episode. We've got some new acquaintances. I want to see what this. I want to go down this line a little bit more. That could be quite interesting. There's something there as well. I want to obviously said that it's getting boring. we need old Ludovico to get his act together, because we're having the same. We need to try and we need to see where that's going to go. And I think this is our new kind of let's see what old Honorade Gazelle is going to bring us, and I'll push that a little bit as well. So every opportunity next episode to keep it going with Osadati, and then let's have a chat with old Gazelle as well. See what we can where that leads us to. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and of course I shall see you in the next one. Thanks very much. Bye.